Underdog Fantasy continues to grow. And with that growth comes all sorts of free money, all sorts of new bonuses and new promos. They're at a point now where they will match up to $1,000 of your money. They will give you free money to play. The only thing you need to do is go to wewantpicks.com/underdog, use promo code WWP, and get all that free money, get all those bonuses, and take advantage of these new promos. wewantpicks.com/underdog, promo code WWP. I'm going to break down the UFC 306 fight card, the Noche UFC fight card. But you can see here across the top, this is all the sports. And WNBA is about to hit the playoffs, baby, and we're going to get rich. And none of that statement was true. Well, I guess they are going to hit the playoffs. But let's go ahead and focus on UFC. You can mix and match sports, which is great. I am filming this on Thursday. They haven't quite dropped every single prop. We're still waiting for some more. They also haven't dropped rivals yet. So by the time you're watching this, you may have even more options than what I'm working with. But I do find it's important to attack some of these lines before they take off. So depending on when you're watching this, you may have even better options, and we can talk through some of those. I do have a nice 4-slot entry here that we're going to work with. Right off the rip, I'm going to expand Sean O'Malley here. This is one that I have gone back and forth on a few times, but we're going to do the lower on Sean O'Malley's significant strikes. He's at 89.5. The reason I like the lower here is there's really only two ways this fight goes. Sean O'Malley either sleeps Merab, who's going to come in sloppy and get caught shooting a takedown, or Sean gets kind of controlled and ragdolled and held down. And in both of those scenarios, he's not blowing past 89.5 significant strikes. He's going to land fewer if he wins by finish, and he's going to land fewer if he loses a decision. So I think the lower there is solid. If you do look at his broader body of work, he tends to get past this number, but the reality is that's against Chito Vera's a striker. That last fight was striking the entire time. He hasn't really fought somebody diving at his legs other than Aljo, and he slept them. So I do think the lower here is probably going to work out for us. I don't like anything on the Merab side because 4.5 takedowns only accounts for his side if he wins. Where the lower on Sean's significant strikes accounts for both sides, right? Sean's going to win by finish or Merab's going to win by decision. Merab basically has to win by decision for this 4.5 takedown line to hit. So we're going to leave that alone. Valentina Shevchenko, again, we don't have all the props here. We basically have a whole bunch of hires on different finish options, and you'd be an absolute idiot to touch any of those. So we're going to leave that alone. The Alexa Grasso side, I was very, very close to doing the higher on 24.99 fight minutes. This could go to a decision. The only reason I didn't quite pull the trigger there is because Alexa Grasso did win by finish the first time they fought. And the second time they fought, she dropped Valentina and had her in a world of hurt. And that was a year ago. Valentina's a little older. Alexa should be a little better. And there is a world, highly unlikely, but there is a world where Alexa Grasso finishes Valentina Shevchenko. So we'll leave that alone. If we come down, I wish I had strike lines for Diego Lopez here. I have a feeling it's going to be a high number, and we're going to pick the lower, but we don't have strike lines there just yet. If we look at Brian Ortega, again, they're just scamming you, forcing you to do a higher on a finish, which we are not going to do. If we continue to work our way down, I promise you, I've got a couple of spots here. Irene Aldana, we're going higher on her significant strike line. This fight should go the distance. And if I look at Irene Aldana's significant strike numbers on my website, at wewantpicks.com, we have a tool called the Prop Hunter, and it's a curated set of data specifically designed to help you in situations like this. And if I'm looking at Irene Aldana's strikes, her average significant strikes landed per fight is 76.62, significantly higher than the number you see here. And in a decision, it's even higher than that at 90.33. This fight likely goes to a decision. And even though Norma Dumont can slow the pace, and Norma Dumont isn't hit very often, I could see Irene Aldana getting off. She only needs 20 strikes per round, and that's not a crazy thing to do. So we're going to add her to our entry. If we continue to look our way down here, we got Joshua Van. That's a one. That's a one. What am I, Mario? It's a me. That's a one. People already lean into the Italian thing. Higher than 82.5 was something that I was looking at because, again, if I'm looking at the data, Josh Van lands 106 strikes on average per fight, 138 in decisions. But then I went to Edgar, and Edgar has only hit 37 strikes, 70 indecisions. So I was like, let me just leave that alone. What I do like here is Raul Rosas. He has a very low number at 20.5. And it seems like, oh shit, that's a trap, 20.5. But the reality is this dude has never gotten anywhere near that number. On average, he has 2 decisions under the UFC umbrella. 2 decisions, 2 full 15-minute fights. And his average significant strikes landed in those 2 fights is 11. This is basically double that. I don't think he gets to this number. He's just instantly going to start grappling. And that's it. So it's a very low number, and the lower is going to make sense. And then Ignacio Bahamondes, Bahama Mama. We're going higher than 39.5. This is another situation where if I look at the data tells a wildly different story. 39.5 significant strikes. If I look at his average significant strikes landed per fight, it is 84. 84. Per decision is also 84 because he's mostly in decisions. But Ignacio Bahamondes came out in his last fight. He did win by finish, but he came out guns blazing, hot and fast. Could be more of the same, or he's going to stay on the outside and bang away there. Strikes from distance are typically significant. So I think the higher there makes a lot of sense. I've already placed this entry, so let's take a look. My camera just adjusted to my stupid ass hand movement. So now I look like people are already like, you're short and fat. Fucking 6'3". I'm going to sit up nice and tall like this so nobody makes fun of me. Because I'm a very insecure man. And I need the internet for validation. Let's go ahead and take a look at what we got going on. Where the hell is it? We got live and we got pick'em. This is the entry that I just showed you and also the entry that I built. Irene Aldana, higher than 57.5 significant strikes. Raul Rosas Jr., lower than 20.5. Sean O'Malley, lower than 89.5. And Ignacio Bahamondes, higher than 39.5. This is my entry. If you like a different one, great. If you have more options, you want to use those, great. The most important thing here is get your free money. They are just giving it away. WeWantPicks.com/underdog, promo code WWP.